Hope Channel, changing lives.
It's another wonderful moment on family life. I wish you all the best. It has been a wonderful day. Throughout the day, Greater Accra, we experienced showers of blessing. God rained his showers on us. And so we have a wonderful weather, and I believe you also have a wonderful weather too. And I always say this weather is perfect for couples. And so I want to welcome you to Family Life once again and wish you the best. Today we are going to have one of the best topics I love so much. And I believe you also love it. By the way, let me ask you, how was your day? How is the family? I believe everybody is doing very well. And so just take your phone and call a friend, a family you love so much, to be with us this evening, because we are going to discuss a very, very interesting issue that you will love it. And we want to remind you, we are on Facebook, and then you can also watch us on YouTube. You can also send your WhatsApp message and contribute or ask questions to the topic we are going to discuss. Today we have the same guest that we had last week. Last week, if you were with us, we had wonderful discussion. And I always say that one of the guests, anytime we meet, is just fireworks. And so he's here with us. Pastor Josiah. Pastor, you are welcome.
Thank you, madam.
Pastor is a counselor. He is also a lecturer. So we call him Pastor Dr. Josiah Ando. He's here to support us understand the topic we are going to discuss. And I have with me a wonderful woman, very, very wonderful, so elegant. Mommy, Mrs. Thompson is here with us too this evening. Mommy, you are welcome.
Thank you.
You know one thing, I thank you so much because the whole of this week you were able to engage our viewers who reached out to you.
Yes.
And we are so grateful. You provided a wonderful counseling to them. So God bless you.
Thank you.
So viewers, you see, Family Life is here to support, educate, and inform families. And we are so grateful that we have dedicated resource persons who are ready to even go beyond this discussion and support you with all the challenges that you reach out to them. And so you have the opportunity to always reach out to them when you have problems. Today we are going to discuss what we call money conflict in marriage. Money conflict in marriage. Let me just ask you the scenario. Let's take, for instance, a young lady who used to chill outside, buy the Cambodia hairs and then the Brazilian hair, do makeups and all those things. Just go out anytime and then spend money at anything that he wants, he just buy. And all of a sudden you tie the knob and they will tell you, my dear, cut down the Cambodia hair, the Brazilian hair. In fact, that expensive thing, can you minimize it because we are together? How will you feel? This question is for you. By the close of the discussion, you will give us the answer. And what do you think? And so, my dear guests, you are welcome.
Thank you.
Pastor Josiah, had it not been the comment, I would have said, yes. In fact, you make us, we love you so much. Because anytime we fall on you, you are able to come.
We thank God.
And thank you for always being a standby.
All right.
So yes, let's go to our discussion. Here is the case. I do my own work. I have my own things. No, don't do this, don't do this. Money conflict, Pastor.
Well, thank you for letting me in. When we talk about money conflict in marriage, it goes beyond do this, don't do that. It's let me define it as it has to do with a situation where there are differences between a husband and a wife regarding how we spend our money, how we save our money, how we invest our money, what really happens to our money. Because you see, when we talk about conflict, we are simply talking about differences in ideas, in opinions, and all that. And there are differences in opinions in so many areas within marriage because we are from different backgrounds. And so by all means there will be differences. So when the differences have to do with handling money. That is what, when we refer to it as money conflict. So, like I said, it goes beyond just do this, don't do that. It even goes to the extent of, oh, okay, what is our principle regarding money in the family? And the reason why it is important is that money, as it were, is like the fuel. You know, that it fuels everything that we do within the home.
Yes.
And when we get married, we are told that the two are one. Now, what that implies is that whereas I used to spend my money this way, and you used to spend your money that way, once we get married, what happens is that it becomes like our two different ways would have to meet at a point. And if the differences are at variance with each other, that is where we have conflict. And I mean, the sad truth is that this happens a lot in marriages. In other words, most of the problems that we have in marriages, quite a number of them are because of money.
Why is this so?
Well, like I said, it is so because money is fuel. You know, so it is something that we use almost every day in the home.
Okay, so if it's really a problem, at what point you couples talk about money?
Okay, I personally think that you start talking about these things before you get married.
Okay.
I mean, before marriage, we have what we call courtship. In other words, from the point where you knew that I'm going to marry Mr. A, I'm going to marry Miss B, you need to start preparing for marriage. Now, as part of the marital preparation, I think that you need to talk about things that happen in marriage. And one of the things that happen in marriage is spending of money, making of money. So I believe that a couple should start talking about money before they get married. So that while we are preparing for marriage, we should start talking. We should ask ourselves, how is our money principle going to be like? Are we going to operate on everybody's money is for everybody, or the man's money is for everybody and the woman's money is hers? Are we going to operate on this percentage of your money should come to a pool and that percentage of mine should come to a pool? Are we going to operate on who pays water bills, who pays light bills, or it is going to be all one-sided and all that? We should be able to agree on how our money, our financial life would be like while preparing for marriage.
Let me go to mommy. Do I need to disclose my account, or even if I am in debt before coming to marriage, do I need to disclose it?
Yes, you have to. Before I even answer that, concerning your first question, I want to say that any misunderstanding that couples may have from the acquisition, the use or misuse of money is acquisition. When I talk about acquisition, how do you get your money? Sometimes a husband working that another person wouldn't like. For example, I know an instance where somebody was going to marry somebody and the person was working in either a restaurant or hotel. You see, that has been the person's work that brings money. But this time, because she's going to tie the knot with somebody, that somebody says, where you are working, I don't like it. So maybe before we even marry, if you can reconsider. So the acquisition, the use and misuse of money can bring misunderstanding or conflict. Then back to the question, do I have to disclose my debt? Yes, you have to. Because this person you're going to marry is becoming a partner. So if you are going to business, though marriage may not be a business venture per se, we can link it to people in partnership. When you're going to partner somebody, the person may have to know your debts, if any.
But in case the person does not marry me, if I tell the person and said, hey, with these huge sums of debt, what am I going to...
But you don't have to hide it too. You see, sometimes these are some of the mistakes that we make,
okay,
especially as women. Let the man know that maybe my mother was sick and I had to go and borrow money, or maybe there was a funeral and I had to take charge of it. So because of that, I ran into this debt. So let the person know. Then the person might say that, oh, okay, it's okay. So how are you paying it? Then you say that, oh, every month I pay this and I pay that. If the person is aware, or if it's about the man, you know, as men, sometimes as early as their 20s, they begin taking care of their families, so they can run into debt. So you have to let your partner know. If because of that, after explaining and the person wants to leave you, it could be that the person, like, you see, if you like somebody, you must like the person's dog. You see, so you can't say that I love you, but because you have entered into this kind of financial commitment, I'm not coming. Especially where you explain it and it should be understandable. I feel you have to let the person know.
Because I know of a situation where the woman was plain enough to tell the man that I owe this amount. And he said, okay, it's better you finish paying before we marry. And because of that, it's prolonged their marriage. Meanwhile, if the woman had just kept it, he wouldn't have known. And so I want to really still...
Well,
yes.
Just like, before you come, Pastor, you see, it's just like you going to marry and you having a child, maybe as a woman.
Okay.
You having a child, and you feel that if I tell him, he will not marry me, so I'll not tell him. Later on, if the person gets to know, it can ruin the relationship. Do you understand? So let the person know. If because of that the person wants to leave, it means the person will not want to, because if he were owing, maybe you still go ahead so that the two of you will find a way. Just like I said, you see, sickness alone, if you have ever taken somebody to Kolebu where the person is suffering some severe sickness, where one drug is costing over 500 Ghana cedis, and you have to buy maybe every week for some number of years, or the person is taking care of a parent on dialysis. This one is not a debt where you say the person went to just...
Yes, even if it was the person's, out of the person's mismanagement. Let's even assume that the person took money and went to organize a party. The person went for a loan to organize a party and blew the money. If you, for me, I think that a man or a woman who would say, finish paying the debt before we get married, especially if the debt is huge. Honestly, I think that it is not right. It shouldn't be the case. But that one should not also be the reason why you should hide a debt from someone you are going to get married to. You see, the point is that one main principle in marriage is transparency.
Okay.
We should be able to see everything through. So why do you hide anything? And I will say that if there is something that you reveal to your prospective partner that will make him or her leave you today, the truth is that if that same thing comes up even after marriage, it might make the person leave you, or it would destroy your marital relationship. So you don't risk it by keeping it a secret. For I believe that if someone will leave you for any reason, maybe to be on the basis of the reason for which you had a debt. And then the person will say, no, if this is the reason why you have a debt, then I don't think you are good enough in financial management. And when I consider myself, I will not be able to live with somebody who is not good in financial management. Therefore, I will not marry you. And I think that if a relationship should break at that point, it is better for the two of them than for it to go into marriage and the two of them will mismanage finances and end in divorce.
Then let me follow up with this. If I need to disclose my debt, do I also need to disclose my account or what I have in my account?
All right. I want to believe that you are. I don't know whether you're asking pre or post marriage, but either way, the moment you get to that point where between the two of you, you are 99% sure, and I'm saying 99 because we do not have 100% surety in our human transactions. The moment you are sure that I am marrying this one, the principle, the operational principle is transparency.
Okay.
In other words, there is no need to hide anything from each other. And that includes my assets as well as my liabilities. Because the moment we get married, it is no longer my assets. It is our assets. The moment we get married, it is no longer my liability, it is our liability. So that if I have a younger sibling I'm taking care of, that is my brother or my sister I am taking care of. The moment we get married, he becomes our brother. So when our brother is going to school, we pay fees. When our sister needs something, we pay. Your family become, I'm sure maybe in the course of it we'll talk about family and all that, but I am approaching this from the context of principles of marriage. In marriage, we are talking about oneness. The two are one. What it means is that it is not my water, it is our water. It is not my trousers. It is, even though you don't wear it, but it is still ours. And that is why we take turns in washing it. Everything is ours. So assets are ours, liabilities are ours. So the debt is our debt. Even if I used it, yeah, because you are getting married to me. Like she said, you love me, you love my dog. You take me and me. So if you are taking me and I have an asset, it is ours as well.
So do you need to know how much I earn?
Yes.
Why? Because I know of couple. No, don't let me say couple. Either if I say a man, you will say I'm biased. But I know of some men, as soon as they know how much you earn or how much you have in your account, you have to use all. Everything will have to come from your account. So do I need to let you know, oh, I earn this much, I get my money from this side, this is how much I... Do you have to let your husband know all or your wife know all?
A man in his right senses. In the same way, yes, a man in his right senses will not do that.
Right.
Yes.
Just because I know my partner earns so much, so I have to misuse it. That was why I was saying that money conflict or misunderstanding with money comes from the acquisition, the use and misuse. So you are inviting conflict in your home.
Okay.
Do you understand? No man in his right senses will do that.
Then when we follow up with some of the things that really leads to this conflict.
Lack of transparency.
To what extent? Because, you know, in fact, this transparency, we have to be clear. For instance, I schooled alone. You also schooled alone. Maybe when I was going to school, my parents were taking care of me. My siblings contributed. And some even sacrificed their careers and other things to take care of me. Here is a man or a woman who is saying that, no, I will not let you take care of your relatives. Or I will not let you...
The moment there is that, there is a problem somewhere. The moment there is that kind of thinking, your relative, there is a problem. And you see, for me, it is better we understand the key principle in marriage. This is the point. Look, I went to school. My mother did all that she could. My sister did all that she could. These people contributed to take care of me. Therefore, they are my responsibility. I mean, whatever. The moment I get married, they become our responsibility. In other words, it's like we should... By the way, you asked of one of the causes is lack of transparency. And I want to add lack of thinking in the partnership. I mean, let me call it the lack of a partnership mentality, where there is individualism, even in marriage. The truth is that in marriage, there should not be individualism. Because God sees the two of you as one. So you operate as one. So this is me. I know that I have a debt. And so every month, 1,000 Ghana cedis goes to service my debt. Here is me. I have an aging mother. And every month, I send 2,000 cedis to her. Only God knows how much. An aging woman. But I'm just giving, figures, throwing figures around.
Okay.
But then, if these are my responsibilities, the moment we get married, they become our responsibilities. So there is no more anything like my money and your money. The moment in a marriage, even though, well, I would say that we may not want to impose these principles on every marriage, because there are some marriages in which there should be my money, your money. There should be division of who should do this, who should do that. And it works for them. Okay. For such families, if it works for them, I think they should go ahead and practice that. But I am talking in terms of the principle as it operates on families or on marriage. There is nothing like my money, your money.
Okay, so we will rest on Pastor's discussion and then we'll go for a quick break. Because now we have noticed about two things that can lead to money conflict. Lack of transparency and lack of partnership mentality.
That's right.
My dear viewers, we are going on break. We will come back. We still want to see how best or what are the causes of money conflict in marriages, because we need to get to the root cause of it and see how best we can uproot the cause and then have interventional issues on it. So don't go away. Just call a friend, and then when we come back to we will outline we will announce our WhatsApp line for you to be able to test and send us your contribution. And if you have a question too, you can bring it on board. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Oh, hello, Chaplain.
Hello, Peter.
How do you do?
How do you do?
It's been a while.
Yes, it has.
I hope you're well.
Oh, yes, we are. And what about you?
Doing well, by God's grace.
All right. Thank
you know, Chaplain, this reminds me. The last time at church, you made this presentation about Jesus Christ and God, and there's this question that's been bothering my mind.
Okay, let's hear it.
Who is Jesus Christ?
Okay, so as I said, Jesus is God, and then he is man.
Oh, Chaplain, this is rather confusing. I mean, how can God become man? I believe he's either God or man.
Okay, so Peter, we can have the long talk here, but why don't you join me on Hope Bible School?
Hope Bible School?
Yes, Hope Bible School. This is an interactive and in-depth study of the Bible, where Bible students study the Bible to know what it truly means.
Oh, okay. This is good news.
You can invite your friends to watch on TV or online.
You know, I'll tell my friends and family to tune in.
I'm nowhere close to a perfect.
Let's pray.
We are praying together with you, and so send a praise report. What is it that the Lord has done for you?
What I will cry, Yankopon Ashadie, ne Yesu Christo Jidim.
I want Yankopon Femono, and Sabi Be Jumano, I chid in Pano, didn't creme rade.
Sir.
At Yana Nimpayadrian and say, you bet me ayano, Janjambia.
Not just a fee at the bone fit, as a fee edino. Yankopon in the power pump. And yes, sir, or the Maizafo, Lemon in the Pancasa pump.
I'm calling to pray for my family members who are outside the nation and those who are in the nation.
Let's pray. Showing this on every Friday at 6:30 p.m.
Thank you so much for staying with us. We are on Family Life. My name is Mrs. Betty Adom, and with me here are Mrs. Comfort Thompson and then Pastor Dr. Josiah. We are discussing about money conflicts, and we've gotten to a point where we want to outline some of the major causes of money conflict in our families. And so if you are just joining us, you have not missed the mark. You are still on the track, so keep on calling your friend. We want to announce the WhatsApp line for you to also contribute. You can send your message, you can ask questions, and you can also contribute to the topic. And so the WhatsApp line is 05596 80066. 05596 80066. So you can send your message through this WhatsApp line. Let's get interactive. Let's interact on this topic, money conflict. And so we are on the point of the various causes. So Pastor, you give me some.
All right.
So for Mommy, will also give me some. And then we'll
so
see, yes.
I think we've talked about
the partnership, lack of partnership
mentality. We've talked about lack of transparency.
Yes.
Another thing is when there are differences in our ideals, differences in ideals. Now, this is a man who believes in investing money, and this is a woman who believes in acquiring, getting clothing, getting bags, getting shoes, and all that. Now, the moment we have this wide difference between the two, there will be conflict, because the man will be thinking of putting the money into an investment the woman doesn't see the use of, because she's not the investment type. And then the man would, the woman would also be thinking about the clothes, the shoes, the bags, and all that. So when we have this kind of differences in ideals, or what I would call financial ideals, then there's likely to be conflict. Then I would also talk about selfishness, which is a major cause. Now, the reason why I say so is that people get married with the thing with themselves still in mind. So the guy is married, but he's still thinking more about himself than of the marriage, than of his wife, or she's thinking more about herself than of the marriage. So that you find somebody who is married and thinks that my mother deserves better than your mother. The moment that spirit begins exhibiting in one spouse, what happens is that the other one would automatically also react, and there will be trouble.
Not even your mother. I need to clothe myself well, more than you.
So I need to clothe myself well, so I need to buy this, I need to buy that, and I don't want you to do same, or I don't help you to do same. It becomes a problem. There are people who are married and are building property at the blind side of the partner. And my question is, for what? When are you going to live in it? Because you are supposed to be married together till death. So the property you are building at the blind side of your wife. At what point in your life are you going to live in that property?
You will rent.
Exactly. And then use the money for
investments.
Investing into what? And what benefit would that thing be? That is why I'm thinking that the moment we start thinking that, look, we are together for life, there is no need for fighting over money.
Let's get to Mom. Mrs. Thompson. Some of the causes. If our pastor is giving us a lot, but let me hear from the woman's side.
Misplaced priorities.
Okay.
You see, just as he said, this is what we want to do. There are some men, maybe because I'm a woman, you see, because of our cultural inclination that somehow tells a lot. in the way we do almost everything in our homes, despite being Christians. Sometimes you find our interests different. So while somebody is thinking that we are aging, so let's get a land, let's start doing something. Somebody also thinks that I'm the chairman of maybe a certain association and whatever, and the association must run. So let me use the money for that in order to be famous. Now, I won't be surprised if there will be problems in a lot of homes now, because if there's somebody who is standing for maybe a certain position, this is the time that the person would want every money that comes into the home to be used for party things. You see, while the other party will also be thinking, you see, so when there are misplaced priorities, these things come very handy to bring problems in the marriage. And sometimes the way we even misuse the money, maybe for a woman, you have been giving money to maybe pay fees for the children, cook meals that will help the well-being of all the family members, and at every given time you are giving the money, you want to take some to maybe do your hair or sew nice clothing, or you send a certain shoe somewhere. So the moment the money comes, the first thing you think about is, and when you stretch all the causes of money conflict, you see selfishness. Just as Pastor said, selfishness runs through. You see, it's selfishness that do not make us transparent. It's selfishness that do not make us use the monies appropriately. And on we can go. Yes.
Let me find out, can it be possible that one family, one side, having more family burden than the other?
You see, the moment we
let me put it this way.
Like,
because
say, in my family, there are
you are well to do, you don't have any issue.
No, maybe in my family, there are too many of my siblings. Let's say I have 7 siblings.
Okay.
And you have only 1 sibling. And even that 1 sibling is your senior sister, who is already established. The moment we get married, my 7 siblings should be viewed as your siblings. And that is where the problem comes. Where I begin thinking, so our money is 1,000. It seems all is going to his side, though. No, the truth is that your side does not need it. But when we are selfish, we begin thinking of his side, my side. And that is where the problem is. But where we have a situation where you have 7 siblings, I have 7 siblings, and it is going to one side, then there is something wrong. But a situation where in one side, the family does not, in quotes, seem to need money, as it were. They do not need support. But on the other side, there is need for support.
But what about the other side? Both need support. But one feels that mine should be first. In fact, my side, especially the one who has the highest. That is the selfishness
we are talking about. Where, you see, I mean, for example, let's say we are married, and then maybe I have a younger sibling who has just finished senior high school. You also have a younger sibling who has also just finished.
Okay.
They will both be going into the university. What are we supposed to do?
Then you said the man will say, let me first take care of mine. Yours should be in the house.
It doesn't, you see, it has to be such that the two of us are thinking about them equally.
Okay.
In other words, I should have the same kind of affection for my wife's sister as I will have for my own sister or for my own brother. If there is a difference, then I am not marrying right. But that is the problem that we have on hand.
So in this case, how do we manage the family finances?
So that is why there are a lot of types now.
Okay.
If you feel that when the money goes to my side, it means I'm not dealing well with you, or if you feel that I buy this, it will be a problem. You see, if we can't take away selfishness, but we carry the selfishness with us, like as the Bible says, there's no one without sin. Sometimes it's like we can't live without selfishness. Then let's agree to disagree. And that is why we have joint account. Some people will call it fully jointed account. That is 100% joint, where we all bring whatever we have, whether big or small, to a pool. Then we decide to use it by planning very well, drawing our budget and all that. Then you are managing it. Some also would want to go to the area where we'll have separate accounts.
Yes.
Separate. Enjoy what you have. Enjoy what I also have. However, we'll decide on where we are going to share the responsibilities in the house. Then we have the third area where there's a percentile.
Okay.
And nowadays it's like, because of this conflict, a lot of couples are going that way, where you decide on, the two of you decide on a percentage of your income. So no matter what you earn, you bring that percentage. No matter what I earn, I also bring that percent into a common account. And that common account is what we're going to use for our projects and our, almost everything we do in running the house. So depending on your house and the kind of expenditure you envisage, you can decide that let's bring 50. So 50% of what you earn will go into that joint account, so that the remaining 50 you use it at will. Just because we refuse to be the Christians that we have to be in our marriages, and that's why sometimes these things happen for the sake of peace.
Because somebody will say, I can't think far. There are some times you could see that the salary of one person does not match at all. The salary of one person can be the fuel of another person. But you are saying percentage. Bring this, let me bring it. You know very well that when this person brings this amount you are demanding, the other person cannot survive.
My sister, it's just like tithing. It's just like tithing. So if you earn 100 Ghana, your 1/10 will be what?
Yeah, but what she's saying is that I think I get what she's saying. Assuming we say 50%. Assuming we say that 50% of my salary should go to a joint account. 50% of my wife's salary goes to a joint account, and then I earn 100 cedis. My wife earns
about 5,000
cedis. 5,000 cedis.
Yes.
Now, what it means is that in our joint account, we'll have 25,500 cedis, and she would have 25,000. I think I am 2,500. 2,500. 2,500 to herself to spend, and I will have 50 cedis to spend.
Yes.
But you see,
that is where we are.
Exactly. But then, if you see, and that is why I would say that in managing family finances, there are different models that you can operate on, but do what works for you. Do what works for you. The ideal would have been that everybody's money is everybody's money in the home. That's the ideal.
So can there be a situation where the one who is earning smaller can have favor in the sight of the one who is earning?
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying this is another model. But the ideal is that everybody's money is everybody's money.
Okay.
Now, I was doing a program for a group of men. It was an only men's program. And I told them that since I got married, I've never given chop money. And they were all surprised. Or let me say, most of them were surprised. Because it doesn't work in Now, if you try to practice what I am practicing in my home, your home will break within a week. But if I also try practicing what is happening in another person's home, my home may break today. I don't give chop money. But I'm not saying that is the ideal you should practice. The ideal is that everybody's money is everybody's money. In other words, I should be able to take my wife's ATM card, go and withdraw money, and buy fuel into the car, and drive to Hope TV for family life. All right. She should be able to take my ATM card, take money, and buy a nice bag for herself. And I don't get angry. That is the ideal. Because we see ourselves as one, and so whatever money I bring home, whatever money she brings home, is our money. This is why some people would say, then let's put a joint account together. The truth is that whether you have a joint account or not, what matters is what principle goes into it. You may have a joint account and it will not be operational. It has its advantages and it has its disadvantages. What I will tell couples to do about joint account is that you can have a joint account and probably decide to use that one for, say, family projects and all that, with a better plan of what goes into the joint account. But not necessarily to say, this one is for all of us, whatever is yours is yours.
Keep it.
I mean, I believe in equity instead of equality in marriage. By equity, I mean, if I bring 100 cedis and you bring 5,000, it means that the money in the home is 5,100.
Pastor, it's very, very, my dear viewer, in fact, what Pastor is saying, I agree to the last one.
Yes, that.
You see, the thing is that if we take selfishness away,
yes,
my sister, if we take selfishness away, because no matter what principle we adopt, definitely somebody will put in more. But if the person even putting in more, do not follow it as it's my money that is more. So if I want to take, I'll take more. There will be peace. But unfortunately, I'm saying that in most of our homes as Christians, we don't practice Christianity to the letter. Because look at us. Christ in his kingdom, enjoying all the glories of heaven, and deciding that somebody or people on earth are sinning and they are doomed to die, so I'm coming to rescue them. And he didn't charge us for anything, but he just suffered and died for our sake. But unfortunately, humans as we are, despite who we are as church members, we are selfish to the core. You see, we are selfish to the core. And that is why sometimes people will say that, okay, before we met, you had this property, so control it alone. Hardly will somebody say that. So when you go to the divorce courts, you hear the man saying, I built and she didn't contribute anything. Forgetting that.
She gave you food.
She gave you food.
She gave you sex. And you were motivated to go and work and make the money.
In fact, let's bring in the question.
Yes, because if she should be charging you for every sexual act, can you quantify it and pay?
Well, but how about the man also charging the woman for every sexual act?
Okay, it's okay. we will take viewers, we will take some of the questions that are coming. It's getting interesting. Frankly speaking, money management in the home is one of the biggest problems that we need to really see how best it works for all of us. Because you can't go along being broke and you come home and you are stressed up, and either the man or man will be demanding for sex. What mind are you going to have to give it? And so if we are not able to manage it well, the conflict will break us. I believe you will manage it. Pastor and Mommy are here. So let's take the questions from our viewers and then we will see. The first question is saying that, please, when you would-be spouse says he or she can't handle financial hardship in marriage, what does it mean? Is it a red flag one must seriously consider to call off the marriage?
Well, nobody likes financial hardship. But part of the marriage vow says that for richer, for poorer.
This is talking about...
Exactly. So what it means is that when the person gets to the altar and is saying, I promise to love you for richer, for poorer, the person is lying.
Okay.
Because the poorer part, the person is lying.
Okay.
What the person is saying is that if you get poor, I will leave you. That's what the person is saying. But poverty is a possibility in life. Riches are also a possibility. Look, you can marry somebody who has all the money, who has all the potential, but we cannot tell what will happen tomorrow. And that is why the marriage vow has for richer, for poorer. I will not say it's a red sign, but the marriage vow includes for richer, for poorer.
So he's saying that it's for richer, for poorer. Good evening. Thanks for this program. There are times some women, please, why not some men, when their husbands have money, it is for them. But when the woman have it, it's for her alone. When no, it's for her alone. When the husband gives her money, it is no more for them, it is for her. Can this help? Mommy, do you understand the question?
I understand it. That's why I'm saying that we don't practice Christianity in our marriages. You see, if we bring Christianity into our marriages, when you are not working, maybe as a woman, and the man you are marrying toils to bring money on the table, you should even use your Christian principles to love your neighbor as yourself. Ask yourself, if you were the one going out and bringing the money, maybe for one reason or the other, your husband does not work. So you go and bring the money. Then maybe you put money on the table and you find your husband misusing the money. Will you be happy about it? If you don't take care, one day you even get up and insult him, forgetting that he is the head of the family. In the same way, when a man struggles to bring money home, use your Christian virtues to use the money wisely. Otherwise, then you are not a Christian. You see, if you don't even think of how the person may be suffering to be bringing the money home, but you just seize the money and you think it's something to be misused, then you are not a Christian. You are not God-fearing.
Good. So,
from the man, no matter how much, so it has to come. There are families in which the woman earns better than the man, but the man still has to give chop money. There are families in which they distribute the expenses. Mine is for school fees and food and this and that. Yours is for water bill, light bill. It doesn't matter how huge the water bill is, how huge the light bill is. It is not my concern. It's none of my business. There are families that practice their finances like that.
And it means that within one is hurting.
No, what it means is that the two of them have been able, and for me, you see, the moment it's like that, nobody is hurting. It's okay.
But how?
But there's no situation.
Because definitely, when you dig deeper into one
you realize that somebody is hurting because the person feels cheated. The person feels.
But he wants the marriage to, you see, to fulfill holiness, all righteousness. So I need to do it, whether I like it. Some even go to the extent of borrowing money,
whilst your other partner
is relaxed,
whose work it is. Because you see. Let's continue.
Okay. There are questions here. He's saying that, please, is it advisable to prevent the other members of both partners from interfering in marriage?
I mean, I believe the person means family.
Yes,
the other family members.
What level should the people stop interfering? You see, sometimes some of us marry, and because maybe at the church, maybe the minister officiating the marriage may say that, so they are now one. So family members don't disturb them and all that. It doesn't mean that you should forget about family. you, the woman, should recognize your family and recognize the man's family. The man should also recognize his family and recognize the woman's family. Until you are able to do that, you see, we are saying so many things, and I don't know how viewers are putting the issues together. For example, if I marry, thank God that no member of my family falls sick where we will need a lot of money to take care of the person. So if it's your husband's family that is suffering that, be in the shoes of your partner and help your partner out. I hope you understand.
Yes.
Don't say that, and every time it's your family members who are sick and we are putting all our monies into taking care. Aren't you happy that you don't fall sick nor your family members falling sick? You see, if we marry and we begin to hate each other, you see, a lot of Christians are not happy in their marriages, and so many bad things are happening in our marriages, but only that we rely on the principle that God says, I hate divorce, so I'll not divorce, but I'll stay in the marriage and be the Satan that I am. So if the man is not happy, I don't care. If the woman is not happy, I don't care. If I'm punishing my partner financially, I don't care. If I have and he doesn't have, I don't care. You cease to be a Christian.
Good. Good. And one way that I want to respond to our partner is that, my friend, if you have a family and you are married and you refuse to educate them or give the necessary support, give yourself 5 years. They will come back and become more burdened than what you expected.
Yes.
So for me, I'm even of the view that for the first 5 years of your life, that children are not, if you have any family member to support them at that moment. If they are supposed to go to school, let them go to school. So at least everybody will get, let me say, a minimum work that they will not come to you. But if you don't do that and you think that you are spending more money on families, and so you will stop, the next 5 years, the burden will come to you. Anyway, sorry. Let's continue. So the next question is saying that, good evening, I'm Richard from Kumasi. In fact, I like the way the two panel members have explained the topic. I know it's the Holy Spirit leading. The Holy Spirit leading them to explain the topic in divine perspective, but not human. So in marriage, whether good or bad, it's ours, not yours or mine. May God richly bless you. Amen.
Amen.
Good evening, Family Life TV. Did I hear Pastor say the problem of my in-laws are my problem?
Yes, they are yours. Because they are for your husband.
He's saying, no, they are not my problem, and I will not be and it will not be my problem. If I could offer a helping hand, fine, but it shouldn't become my responsibility.
Yeah, you see, this is where, for me, this is where the problem is.
Yes.
You see, we see it as, this is my in-law. Okay, so my father-in-law is sick. My husband is devastated. And I am one with my husband. So what am I supposed to do to my father-in-law? That is where the issue is. So what I said was that the moment you, especially in Africa, the moment you get married, you become a wife to the family. So the two families are together. And so for me, it is better that, you see your husband's family as your family. You see your wife's family as your family. So anytime there is a problem, the two of you should see it together and solve it together. Because, there is nothing like, okay, it is my husband's problem, or it is my wife's problem, and not my problem. Because if you are in trouble, that same father-in-law or mother-in-law you are talking about this way is likely to be the one to help you.
In fact, the person has second question, and I think we will have time and come back and treat this, because there is a, secondly, I will not and cannot disclose my financial statements to my incoming marriage partner. That is not ideal. Now, Why should I disclose my dead stock to you? In marriage, is marriage not supposed to be self-sacrificing than wanting to know all the goodies before entering?
Okay, I mean, I think that the person has
yes.
a certain perspective of marriage.
Yes.
I mean, you see, it is not about the person wanting to know. It's about the two of you planning your lives together. Now, let's assume that you have some goodies somewhere. You are going to be married and you are living with this person for the rest of your life. The question I asked earlier, at what point in time in your life are you going to enjoy those goodies if you are thinking of permanently marrying the person? So it is like whatever goodies there are, the two of you should be able to plan them. Unless, of course, you don't trust the person you are getting married to. And if you don't trust the person you are getting married to, don't marry him. Don't marry her.
Hi, Hope TV. I think it's sharing of duties in our homes is causing problems, because in our society, men are not supposed to do house chores. And for that matter, women also think men are to provide. Please, is that the biblical say? I think we didn't talk about this.
Yeah,
so
I wanted to mention, I can mention it briefly, that when God gave Adam work, he gave the work to Adam. So every work in the house is for the man. And then God realized that the man needs a helper. And so he created the woman. So every work, washing, cooking, cleaning, every work is the man's work. The woman is there to help. And so she is helping him to do his work. But you see, she's not there as another person. When God was giving the instruction to the man, the rib that he took was still in the man.
Yes.
So the instruction was given to both the man and the woman. So every work in the house belongs to both the husband and the wife. In other words, it's the husband's work to cook as the same as the wife's work. It's the husband's work to wash. But the one who does it better should better handle it.
Amen. Stephen Opoku from Buenim. God bless you for teaching us this program. Amen. In fact, the two of them have demonstrated that they are clean Christians, not the fake ones. So, Stephen, thank you. I wish they come to the program all the time. Richard from Kumasi. Richmond, they will come.
It will be boring if it is us all the time.
You see, to even add
so
something
you are wrapping up with your final way, and Pastor also comes. So whatever you come up, then you use it to wrap up.
Okay, I just want to say briefly that it is God who gives us the wealth that we have.
Yes.
And it is the same God that gives us even the life to enjoy the wealth. So if we think of how great God is and who he has made us to be, when we have something and we are sharing with a child of God, we don't think negatively.
Yes.
Because what if tomorrow you don't even have the life to even enjoy your wealth? And secondly, you see, we have to take away selfishness and to agree to be each
other's helper,
others keeper. When we do that, our families will be great. And sometimes this idea of a man should do this, a woman should do this. Adam is to go and work, toil, and take care of the home. The woman is supposed to take care. But right now, both men and women are going to look for their money.
Thank you,
so
mommy.
When it comes to taking care of their home, if we balance it by sharing a little without necessarily being so strict, because what works in somebody's house will not work in another person's home. So just agree and do the things that will make you happy and enjoy your marriages.
Thank you so much. Pastor, short one.
Yes, a short one. Let me say that if we will solve financial problems or money conflict in marriage, it begins from understanding marriage.
Okay.
If we understand that marriage is oneness, permanence, transparency, we can solve every financial problem. And that is what I'll leave for our viewers.
So your phone numbers, and then we will wrap up. What is your number?
0245 137 177.
Pastor.
020 890 5912. 020 890 5912.
Thank you, my dear viewer, and thank you, my panelists. We are so grateful for making time for us today, too. And in fact, it has been a wonderful day. I believe you have also enjoyed. Myself is Mrs. Betty Adom, and then I had Mrs. Comfort Thompson, and then Pastor Dr. Josiah Ando. They have helped us to understand what money conflict is and the decision we need to take in order to be able to end this conflict we are having in our relationship. But what I want to leave with you is that ask yourself, why did you marry? If you understand why you married and really love the woman or the man you married to, I don't think you burden the person financially. Together, let's enjoy. In fact, the best place you can have is to have a loving, peaceful relationship. If you don't manage and have that relationship, in fact, your life in the world will never... The world is so big, but you cannot. The world cannot accommodate you. So please, I believe as we struggle, every day we pray to God to give us topic to come and discuss with you with the hope that we will all learn something, we will all try to adjust, and together we'll have a happy, lovely family. And when people visit us, they will ask us why, and we'll say it's because of the Lord. May the Lord be with you. May the Lord grant you favor and grace throughout the week till we meet next week. May the grace of the Lord rest upon families in the name of Jesus. Amen.